Life as a mercenary on Rubicon 3 is tough. One day, you're hunting down other ACs, the next day, you're the one who's being hunted down. Sucks to be you, buddy. Armored Core 6, like many other games of the series, features an arena system where you can find dozens of different robots in a stress-free environment, and you also get rewards for doing so. Unlike many of the other Armored Core games, however, you can find pretty much every single ranker in the story mode as well. Well, not all of them. I'll explain in a bit what I mean. So stay tuned and strap in, folks, because today we're hunting some mercs. There are 29 rankers in Armored Core 6, and every one of them is available as an opponent in one or more missions. Not all of them are mandatory, however, pretty much all of them hold a combat log, so you will have to defeat every last of them to complete the game properly. Given that they all have a rank number, it felt only convenient to make a number list of all of them. There's also a research tab, which counts as an extra arena and has 12 more rankers in it. Unlike the main tab, however, not all of them are encountered as mission opponents. I'll make a special honorable mentions list to introduce them at the end of the video. Before we start with the list, don't forget to put a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel as well, it would be immensely appreciated. Starting off at number 29, Invincible Rummy. The most unremarkable of ACs you'll encounter out there. In the words of Air, ranked dead last, and you could swear you just scrapped an extraordinarily obnoxious MT. Rummy is encountered early on in the first mission of Chapter 2, Infiltrate Grid 086. You have to try really hard to lose to him, or you just need a terrible AC. At number 28, we have Index Dunham. Another negatively impressive opponent which looks just like a glorified MT. Is found in a mission where you have to attack a dam. Dunham gets a really short stick considering he has to fight 3 ACs at the same time. And there's an interesting comment to be made about foreshadowing here, but I'll just leave it for another time. For now, just enjoy turning Dunham to scrap and move on. Number 27 is G6 Red, the Red Gun's spokesperson. This fight is found in mission MIA and only available starting from Neo Game Plus 2. This encounter is actually easy to skip if you're none the wiser or just not interested in exploring. You'll find G6 Red trying to fend off some NTs, drop down to help him secure the area, then watch as the accumulated combat stress causes him to attack you until one of you is dead. This fight is extremely easy and the guy is completely fried, so just put him out of his misery because he's dead meat anyway. Number 26 is Nosaac, another optional fight. And what a sad bastard this one. To find him, you have to play the first mission of Chapter 2 again, that is Infiltrate Grid 086, and fight 2 hot iron pipes. Enter the clean one, then follow the path until you find a secret room, where by the way you can also find an AC part. Nosaac is lying in wait in a corner like a lovely robber. He probably doesn't know you can even sniff him out with your scanner.
You gotta be kidding me.
This fight might be dangerous since the room is small and he does have a spread bazooka cannon, but in hindsight, he's mostly cannon fodder.
You gotta be kidding me.
Number 25 is V.VIII Maeterlinck, aka Snail's #1 fangirl. This AC is one of the 2 mandatory targets of the last mission of Chapter 4, Reach the Coral Convergence. Maeterlinck is actually a bit of a threat because of the weapons she uses. The dual pulse guns hurt your stagger bar and health quite a bit and will melt your shields, and the plasma cannon will eat your AC away if you stay in the blast area for too long. On the other hand, the AC is quite fragile and there's lots of MTs taking pot shots at her. Take advantage of the chaos properly and she'll be gone long before she calls for Snail one more time. At number 24, we have Little Ziyi. Another embarrassing encounter that could easily have been more difficult if he had been a boss tetrapod. Ziyi is encountered in the same mission where you have to retrieve some logs, drop down the chasm that holds 2 of these logs, and you'll trigger this optional fight where you approach one of those. It's possible to avoid this fight if you overlook the debris that triggers the fight, or access it last and take too long to fight her, or just don't drop down the chasm at all. In any case, kindly erase Ziyi from reality and move on. Number 23 is V.VII Swinburne, a very detestable character. This guy is very easy to find since, well, there's a mission dedicated solely to finding him and killing him. Unfortunately, it's also the same mission that requires you to sneak around the map without being spotted. Not that it's hard or anything, in all fairness, it's just a minor annoyance. Get to the end of the mission and you'll find Swinburne, refuses counteroffer and keeps shooting until he stops yapping. Number 22 is V.III Wu Huahai, and I swear to goodness I'll never be able to pronounce this correctly.
Shame on you!
This one will hurt a fair bit if you're not paying attention. His arsenal hits quite badly, to be fair. He's the other mandatory target in the last mission of Chapter 4, reach the Coral Convergence, and can make things complicated if you ignore him for too long, especially since you have Maeterlinck biting your ass if you ignore her for too long as well. Fortunately, he also suffers from being shot at continuously by the Institute MTs. Use that to your advantage and wreck him dead. He should be an easier target anyway since his AC is lower and bigger than Maeterlinck's. It's actually very likely that you'll shoot down V.III first. Number 21 is Ring Freddy. This is where things become somewhat difficult actually. The one AC fight that will make you sweat. Freddy is already a pain in the ass in the arena as his AC is pretty fast and hard hitting at the same time. In the mission where you find him, he also has repair kits, so you have to spend more time trying to bust his ass open. He's lying in wait next to a data log in mission Eliminate Special Forces, or whatever it is. Eliminate the enforcement squads. He's lying in wait next to a data log in an area far removed from the starting point, but you have the chance to sniff him out and get the jump on him instead. At number 20, we have V.V Hawkins. This AC only looks dangerous, but it really isn't. Still, it's encountered in a mission in Chapter 4, Ambush the Vespers, where you have to defeat 2 ACs at the same time, and in a smaller room, so you definitely have your hands full. And obviously, there are repair kits involved as well. Again, as the space is quite limited, pay attention to what happens and make sure you come out of there alive. On a side note, you also have an allied AC, which takes off some pressure from your shoulders, but Flatwell sucks so much ass he might as well not be there. Number 19 is your favorite pushover, Gun 5 Iguazu. Iguazu might as well be your personal deuteragonist for how much screen time he gets. You fight him in the first time in the second mission of Chapter 4, Underground Exploration Depth 2, where he tries to ambush you only to fail miserably. Interesting to note, he gets a slight change of armaments by swapping his shield for a laser orbit. And later on, in New Game Plus, you get the option to fight him again and another AC by changing sides in the same mission where you would find Dunham, which by the way is called Attack the Dam Complex. Although in this instance he might become harder to kill if you get his consort to step in. You get 2 more chances to fight Iguazu. One is in Chapter 2, in a mission also available in New Game Plus, and that is mission Stop This Secret Data Breach. The other is in the alternative final mission of Chapter 4, Reach the Coral Convergence. This one is actually exclusive to New Game Plus 2. Find Iguazu along with another AC, which means you're gonna get locked in a 3-way Mexican standoff. In any case, however you find him, enjoy kicking his ass over and over again. Number 18 is Rokumonsen, the man who speaks in Haiku. This is a completely optional fight, but a difficult one as you get no resupply points. It is only available if you accept Swinburne's offer and therefore breach the commitment you had with the Rubicon Liberation Front. Rokumonsen will swoop in, blaring something about his honor for violating the terms of engagement, and some Sanzu toll that you now have to pay. It's a strong foe with a peculiar arsenal that will break your poise first and then your neck if you're not paying attention. And you get no chance to replenish your spent ammo and repair kits, so, try not to die like a dog. At number 17, we have Gun 4 Volta, which can be a true pain in the ass. It's found in the same damn mission where you also find Iguazu. The reason why Volta is difficult to fight is not just his AC being a heavy tank, but also the mission involving a 1 vs 2 dynamic, with you alone against Volta and Iguazu. Focusing on Volta while the loser picks free shots at you might be the worst option, But on the other hand, Iguazu will usually only join the fray after a short while, so you have a window of time where you can try and destroy the target before switching to the other. If you're confident that you can destroy Volta quickly, go ahead and do so. Otherwise, my personal suggestion is to focus on Iguazu first and then switch to Volta once his friend is trashed. Don't let Volta near your AC for too long, because he will stagger you, and letting him do so will cost you. In any case, if you kill Iguazu before Volta steps in, you're gonna have a much easier time. At number 16, we have Hawkins' friend, V.VIII Pater. And this guy is annoying as fuck. Pater is not very strong, but he's very fast. He only uses pulse weapons, guns, cannons, shields, blades. I swear, this fool is a living gimmick. But it's an effective one for sure, and if you don't put him down fast, he will melt your AC to scrap eventually. To make things more annoying, he's encountered in the same mission where you fight Hawkins. Your consort is as useful as a straw target dummy. And if you don't hate him enough already, he has terminal armor! Pater can be difficult to take down while Hawkins is biting your ass, as he is the other one to hit. My suggestion is to kill Hawkins first and then switch to Pater. Hopefully by then Middle Flatwell is still alive to keep fulfilling his decoy duty. Number 15 is an old friend of yours, Sulla, and oh my fucking goodness, this fight is disappointing to say the least. His AC isn't half bad, but Sulla is such a terrible AC pilot. He's arguably a bit harder in the mission Attack the Watchpoint, as well as in the variant where you also have to kill 4 stealth MTs, mainly because the terrain is uneven and he has a repair kit or 2 to use. Other than that, the only weapon that could pose a threat is his bazooka. He's probably one opponent that will check how much attention you've been paying to the game so far, but the fact that I've never ever lost to Sulla at all speaks for itself. Just slot this guy full of your ordnance and move on. He's nothing but a waste of time. Number 14 is Chatty Stick, Carla's personal assistant. Now this is a worthy opponent of your efforts, and it couldn't come up at a worse moment. You find it and Sin and Carla together in the mission where you have to kill her. That's right, 1 versus 2. Funny! Chatty Stick is actually a pain in the ass. It mainly works as a support frame for Carla, but even on its own, you should not underestimate this little fucker. It doesn't suffer from recoil from heavy weapons, and has plenty of missiles to boot, so it can drift and shoot you all day. That, and Carla's massive missile reservoir, will make this fight a living hell. I find it pretty useless to try and kill Chatty Stick first while Carla is running you missiles until you're dead, so kill her first and then switch to her friend. It's much easier this way once she's out of the picture. Number 13 is Middle Flatwell, the Rubicon Liberation Front's de facto leader. Flatwell is such a pushover, he should be ranked below Ring Freddy, or even lower along the likes of punks like Nosaac. He only comes up as a concept for the main opponent, and he doesn't even use repair kits. You can ignore him or just sink him down and then go back to your main assignment. It's unlikely he will be the one to fire the killing shot in any case. But if he does, hey, let me know what he says. Number 12 is another underwhelming opponent, V.III O'Keeffe. This guy isn't strong, but fighting him is so annoying. He's found in an assassination mission aimed specifically at him. The mission is aptly named Eliminate V.III. The arena, however, is very big and has plenty of empty space, especially in the vertical sense. He likes to hover around from a distance, making getting close a fair bit complicated. Dodging his weapons shouldn't be difficult if he keeps the distance, especially if you brought a missile bow to the fight. If you're confident you can take to the skies and keep up with him, you can stay at higher levels and pick him off there. But you can also drop down to the bottom of the chasm and O'Keeffe will follow, which means both of you have now less space for maneuvers. It's not hard to kill him, just annoying. Slot him dead and move on. Number 11 is Cinder Carla. Pretty much everything has been said already when talking about Chatty Sticks. Carla's AC is the major threat here, being durable, having more missiles than it should ever be legal, and having the tendency to look for an opening to kick you in the balls and use assault armor straight in your face. I am not joking when I say it's totally possible to lose in 10 seconds flat or even less if you're too unlucky or damn cocky. True story. It's advisable to kill Carla first, so you do get swarmed with missiles every 2 seconds, as avoiding Chatty's ordnance is comparably much easier. At number 10, you have a surprisingly troublesome opponent, Cold Call. This AC looks unimpressive, but then that just means you're going to underestimate this guy. Cold Call makes for a sweaty opponent in the arena and one that moves vertically an awful lot. Perhaps he's an easier fight in the mission, which by the way is the alternate version of Underground Exploration Depth 2. Mainly for two reasons. One, he doesn't have a lot of space for maneuvers, which means you can take him down more easily. And two, you get repair kits to use as well, in case you make many mistakes and take a bad beating in the first part of the fight. In any case, don't let your guard down. Cold Call specializes in removing enemies from the picture, especially if they're not paying any attention. Number 9 is your buddy, V.IV Rusty. You knew it was going to happen eventually. He's normally not a very strong opponent, but the mission you fight him, Unknown Territory Survey, features a small arena where he has a better chance of staggering and slashing you. His AC is pretty fragile, but it's kinda impossible to sink it if you've been immobilized or have a hard time hitting it. So try to avoid that. If you let Rusty chain several highly damaging attacks, you will regret that very soon. In the alternate version of this mission, you have also Flatwell trying to breathe down your neck as well, which splits your attention between two targets, though in all honesty he might as well not be there. Number 8 is Honest Brute, a true gentleman. This fella is so dangerous apparently that he gets his own assassination mission. The problem is that you have no supply points throughout the mission and it's a long way to the bottom where the fucker is waiting for you. And by the way, if you're wondering, he's hidden away on the upper left corner above from where you land. You may want to either skip most of the fights on the way or make sure you don't take too much of a beating and spend too much ammo. Brute is not a hard foe, but it's difficult to fight a fully working AC with scary weapons and plenty of repair kits when your own build is half spent. Number 7 is G.II Snail, the Red Gun's second in command. Holy crap, is this build a crock of shit. Either I've been lucky or this guy really sucks. He has plenty of missiles, maybe a bit too much, and a linear gun that is the only troublesome weapon here. He's also slow moving and yet not armored enough to justify that. He is featured in a prisoner rescue mission right at the end where you're almost done with the assignment. The true problem here isn't defeating G.II Snail, but keeping the chopper alive. Otherwise, deal with him as you please. Number 6 is V.II Snail, everybody's favorite loser. You know you want to do this. You fight Snail on 2 occasions. One is optional and happens on the way to the fight against Kala and Chatty. The other is in the alternate version of the mission Reach the Coil Convergence, and this one is mandatory. Snail's AC is very resistant to damage, so taking it down isn't going to be easy. His weapons are rather strong when you have limited space for dodging, and his laser lance has the potential for ending you very fast. Want a bigger challenge? In the mission where you get to actually try and kill him, Iguazu also joins the fray, so you have a threesome of death to deal with. Happy fucking days. Of course, you can also fight Snail in his Arquebus Balteus, but that is not an AC, so it doesn't count. At number 6, we have Chartreuse.
5. I meant 5.
Honestly, her AC is one of the prettiest I've ever seen in this game. One to actually be scared of if your only playstyle is to fuck around in front of the enemy and find out. Her arsenal can properly stagger you and then finish you before you have a chance to retaliate. That only happens if you don't dodge. Her AC is otherwise tanky but slow, but her specific legs model has an overfunction that enables her to stay afloat for longer. She's found in Defend the Dam complex and is featured alongside another AC, or 2 if you wait for too long. Ideally, you may want to take her friend out first, as she is much easier to deal with one-on-one. Number 4 is Mr. Coral Grandpa, Tom Dolmayan. This AC sucks, but not as much as most of his Rubicon Liberation Front friends. Dolmayan actually pilots his boss mech very decently. He's not to be underestimated given the arsenal he employs. He's encountered in the alternate version of Survey the Uninhabited Floating City, where he's seen single-handedly downing the PCA helicopter. Surely, at least he's a much better pilot than all the journalists that got filtered. In any case, murder Coral Grandpa any way you see fit, but don't let your guard down at all. Number 3 is Chartreuse's friend, King. For somebody without call sign, he truly isn't as hot as he's made up to be. His wing-shaped triple laser cannon hurts like a motherfucker, but nothing else is noteworthy about him. Taking down his AC first is probably the much easier option in the mission he features in, Defend the Dam complex, as otherwise you have him trying to pick shots at you while you're busy with Chartreuse. If you take too long, you might even have a third AC joining the fray, so, just kill him first, and fast. Number 2 is G1 Michigan, the Red Guns leader. This one is a fair opponent, and I don't say that too often. Michigan's AC is not too hard to take down, but he's also not a pushover. At the very least, he's gonna prove to be a very interesting fight. Okay, seems perfect. So what's the catch here? The mission is found in Intercept the Red Guns. A proper shitfest, where MTs drop from the sky all the time and you're bound to run out of ammo at some point, and then Michigan also drops in. That's basically what makes this encounter truly sweaty as hell. Fortunately, with the right build, you should be able to pull it off nicely. Time to earn that Gun 13 call sign the right way, to sweaty, intense combat to the bitter end. Sorry, Michigan. Number 1 is the Vesper's top pilot, V.I Freud. And oh my goodness, for a top ranker, Freud is such an underwhelming opponent. But it's still possible to come unprepared and get wrecked. His arena fight is only complicated because you have no repair kits, and any false step will usually mean you are going to die, and horribly. Otherwise, you have a discreetly sized arena to fight in and no distractions, pretty much. Honestly, anything works here, so do with it whatever you feel like doing. Freud is a very good pilot, but nothing to write home about, and his AC is nothing too exceptional. Basically, just bring whatever build you feel like bringing and consider this an ultimate test of your skills. Gosh, this is such a strange way to finish a ranked AC list. We said something earlier about all honorable mentions, so let's go straight ahead with those. In the Alpha Research tab, we have 3 ACs. Mind Alpha, which is not encountered in any mission, Trainer AC, which is the test AC you scrap continuously from the All Mind program, Tester AC, which is actually the daffing student pilot we murdered countless times, so I guess he's the true Tester AC. All Mind, I see what you're doing here. From the Beta Research tab, we have 3 ACs. Mind Beta, which is totally not the same AC Kate Markson pilots when helping us during the mission obstruct the mandatory inspection. Nope, not at all. Corporation AC, which is not encountered in any mission. And Rubicorn AC, which is also not encountered in any mission. From the Gamma Research tab, we have 3 more ACs. Mind Gamma, which serves as the first phase of the All Mind boss fight. Institute AC, which is an unmanned AC defending the pressure chamber in Depth 3 of the underground exploration, and Nightfall, the poster boy, featuring in 2 distinct missions, by himself in defending the old spaceport and as a late concert to King and Charters in Defend Dam. Nightfall will usually appear once you defeated one of the 2 ACs. You may also be quick enough to destroy both of them and have Nightfall join later. If you're extremely unlucky, however, Nightfall will join you while both ACs are still alive. You want to avoid that, but don't let me judge you. Finally, from the Delta Research tab, we have the last 3 ACs. Steel Ace Ortus, Rusty's new AC that either features as an enemy during Carla's Path, Breach the Carmen Line, or as a friend during Air's Path, Destroy the Drive Block. HAL 826, piloted by Walter as the final boss of Air's Path, Bring Down the Xylem. And then finally we have Echo, piloted by Air, which appears as an ally during the second part of the All Mind final boss fight. So that was it. I hope you enjoyed this little video, and hopefully it's also been useful in any capacity to you. It shouldn't be too difficult to locate all the ACs and battle with them. However, for the strategies, I'll probably leave it to you unless I have a better idea. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to put a like. It would be immensely appreciated for me, and it would help me show this video to other players who might be interested in it. And if you enjoy the channel, consider subscribing for more support. Finally, if you have any ideas you want to share with me, or any codes I should be aware of, criticism, praise, whatever crosses your mind, dirty secrets that you cannot tell even your boss, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll make sure to read every last of them. Finally, I would just like to reiterate that I'm extremely grateful that I get a chance to share this content, and I'm truly grateful for your support. But that has been me for today, and I leave you guys to the rest of your day. Once again, thank you for your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay sharp, buddy.